They say the business is what the business is. If you gonna talk money, then we gonna talk money cause we grown. We not running off with the plug either, nigga. Cause the plugs live by different codes. They back on in my business. Wonder how much my trap worth. They don't understand how I'm winning. All they see is my trip work. They don't understand how I'm getting it. Cause they ain't never knew how to do it right. They ain't never been to a trap. They don't know nothing about the get right. They come and get me. Until they come and get me. Straight out the trenches. Until they come and get me. Until they come and get me. Straight out the trenches, mama say that I would never win. Jumped off the porch and I ain't never been the same since. If I should die now, I guess it's worth all my sinning. They say they learned it from me, tell them I ain't never finished. Straight out the trenches, mama say that I would never win. Jumped off the porch and I ain't never been the same since. If I should die now, I guess it's worth all my sinning. They say they learned it from me, tell them I ain't never finished. I'm in the mud, trapped out here in the mountains, all this talking like they...
Hey, it's UpNorth City Girls Podcast. I am your host, Miss TML. I have my UpNorth City Girl ladies with me today. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Long week, ladies.
Yes.
How's everybody doing? Catch me up.
Well, y'all know I'm with child, so I feel like shit.
Yes. April Marie is over there having morning sickness, so her camera's not on today because she doesn't feel up.
Listen,
to
this morning
visuals today.
sickness is all day sickness. Like they got me on medication. Like at this point,
Oh my gosh!
I know
Now
I
that-
can't keep nothing down. Like it doesn't stay down. I'm like puking like 3-4 times a day. Not to gross y'all out, but all my women that are mommies feel me. Like this is crazy. Like I've never gone through this before.
Right. That's what I was asking the ladies. Like, did she have this problem with her first child?
No,
they were like, no. So that's definitely a change.
I be miserable at work. Like, oh God, yeah. It's bad. I can't sleep at night.
Insane, April. Well, you know, I send my strength and encouragement as much as possible, and you know we're always here for you.
Thanks, Bill.
You know, I'm praying for you, of course.
As we like to say, man down, code
man
red.
Down. I'm in distress right now.
For
like,
real.
Like, hold up. Send me a lifeline. Send me a lifeline.
Y'all want to switch bodies? Who want to switch bodies real quick?
Now, I know that.
I know that we,
right? I'm like, listen, it's hard. I don't even want to think about being a mother at this age. Like, I'm scared. Like,
yeah,
I'm scared for you guys. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, what are they gonna have to deal with when we're 50 chasing these kids around? Like, but you know, it's definitely a beautiful thing to be able to experience it. I think later in life. So, you know, like, because now you're all grown up. You always, you know, you've already got to live out some of the best years of your life in regards to doing the things that you wanted to do. So now it's really just focusing on being a great parent. So you get that opportunity. And I think that's, you know, a great thing. I think you're going to see the difference in regards to how you parented, you know, with your first child compared to this child.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
no, you're right.
Dope. That's dope. I know that I want to just, you know, congratulate us because we are up to 20,000 views on YouTube right now. If you haven't subscribed to our page and you're tuning in today, please subscribe to our UpNorth City Girls YouTube page. We're also on Spotify. You can find us on there as well. We're on a lot of radio broadcasting platforms as well as podcast platforms like Apple Music. We have, you know, just been putting ourselves out there in regards to our podcast, and we want to get as much support and people involvement and engagement. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, definitely reach out to us. Definitely let us know, like, what your concerns are and, how you're feeling about the show. We appreciate all that. In regards to just feedback and things like that. So I want to congratulate you ladies and just tell you thank you for being a part of this journey and being a part of this vision that I had in regards to creating a platform for us as independent Black women. We all have different things that we're doing in our lives in regards to entrepreneurship and things like that, and just being able to have a platform for artists to be highlighted and guests that we bring onto the show that are entrepreneurs as well. So do you guys have anything to say about that?
No, I'm
No, I'm
happy
just
to be
glad to be a
here.
part.
You
Yeah.
know, like I didn't
We,
think it would be this big, but that's what's up. I appreciate the
Yeah,
love.
that's definitely like our conversations. Somebody said to me the other day, they said, you guys touch on a lot of deep topics. And I said, I wanted to be able to bring everything, whether it be education, whether it be, entertainment. I think that that's what our platform is about, is giving people a place where you can talk about any and everything. And just basically being a learning tool for people, or just a conversational platform for people to like hear
Uh-huh.
different opinions, because I think we all have strong opinions. So I think hearing us and hearing, what our outlooks on things are very important as Black women. And that, we all come from different, upbringing. So it's important to have us here, and I
Right.
appreciate you guys.
Right back at
So
you, boo.
so I know, of course, one of our trending topics is, we're opening up with trending topics today. Trending topics has been Kanye West. And he's been on our platform, ever since the beginning of this season two. We've been talking about Kanye because Kanye just keeps trending.
Right.
And this week, I can tell you I have a different perspective on Kanye. I now have come to somewhat be able to understand him a lot better after watching the documentary on him and his mom. And just seeing that piece where she's rapping his lyrics and he doesn't even remember the song. And I said,
wow.
this is the type of love that you want from your parent. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
the fact that she believed in him so heavily is, I think, what made him so confident in believing in himself.
Right.
And I think that's important as parents, like that you should, push your child to be the best that they want to be in whatever they're doing. She never once said that you can't be this person. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
she told him, but she also allowed herself to, guide him in a way of making him humble himself in certain circumstances and telling him, yeah, you
Mhm.
do come across as being arrogant. But I think that people misconstrue that because you're very confident. And it can be taken the wrong way if you don't really know him and what he's come from. And just seeing him, like when he went to Rock Nation and he was like playing Jesus Walk and nobody was paying attention. And I'm watching this going, yo, they don't realize that this song is like a platinum song. Like,
Right. I was
they
bobbing
have
my head like, oh shoot, I gotta bump the old Kanye. I was like, damn.
exactly
I
like
forgot how
I'm
hard
sitting
that
there
song was.
and I'm like, yo, that song really was so influential in Rock Nation. The A&Rs, they weren't picking up on it. They were like, turn that
Right.
down. Get out of my office with that. The fact that I seen Scarface, a legend, walk out of a session and he didn't want to have nothing to do with it. He wanted him on the hook and he was like, nah, that's not my style. Like, I can't rock with that. Like, it was like he never recorded the hook. And I know he's probably shooting himself in the foot now. Like, what was I
Right.
thinking?
Yeah.
You know
Because
what I mean?
that song alone, like Jesus Walks, a lot of people, that can be like a touchy situation. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because you're bringing, Jesus into it, and you make it into this hip hop. You know what I mean? So I
right,
think it was really good, but we didn't realize. I mean, he had that song, and then but years later, he comes out with a whole gospel album
right.
dedicated. So there is something he has got. Definitely has his mom planted some good seed in him, and I'm a firm
Mm-hmm.
believer. Like what you put in your child, they may not. They may not always be doing the right thing all the time, but they will come back to what was
Right.
planted, and we see that with him. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And he dedicated, Donda 2, Donda 1, to his mom, because I think, yeah, she was very influential in his life.
And even
You
good
know?
music. Like she
Oh
came
yeah,
up with that whole concept. Like I'm sitting there going, uh, a theory to his madness. Even though we might not understand it, he understands it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the
Right.
genius part about him now is that he's so confident in what his vision was. And Toya, the one thing that I learned about this documentary is faith is so important. Faith is the
yes,
conviction of hope. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because it's like once you have that faith, anything is possible. That man had so much faith in what he believed and what he wanted to do that he made it manifest. And
Remember the song "Through the Wire"?
yeah,
He could have lost his life. His mouth was jacked up.
hmm
He made a song about it, and it's like, yeah, no, God was with him because he could have been
yep.
done.
And this is where I'm like, even now hearing the new song that he has with the game, I feel like Kanye woke up. He
Yeah,
definitely realized that he was living a life that he wasn't supposed to live anymore. You know what I'm saying? And being in that spotlight with the Kardashians, and I think he really, in a way, now I realize that he's coming back to the Kanye that maybe people first knew. You know what I'm saying? And we just have to see how he evolves. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's a little more humble than he's been on the last couple of albums. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he tried something and it didn't work, so now he's trying something different. And I respect him a lot more
I
now.
also think, his mom was so special to him. A lot
Hmm.
of people, if you're the only child, it's hard to deal with losing a parent that's been there.
Right, right.
So that can
Mhm.
explain some of his, outbursts. And I know they said some mental health issues or whatever, but I think with guidance and if he just does what he needs, he'll be okay.
Hmm.
I mean, if he needs medication, um, yeah, take your medication if that's going to help you cope with society. But I think a lot of people are, the fact that he's coming after Kim, people
Right.
don't like that. I don't want it to become like a restraining type situation where, okay, Kanye, now you have to stay 100 feet away from Kim and speak.
Right.
Like you can't say anything because you're just like all over the place with it. We understand you're a good man. We understand you want to be a good father, but the media can misinterpret stuff and switch things up. So it's
Right.
he just has to walk a very very like thin line of I know expressing how you feel and then what's the reality of what's going on.
But
I've heard he tried to take back the divorce. Like he went to the judge and he's trying to object Kim divorcing him.
right. And I'm like, but you know what? You know what I realized? I seen an article, right? And it was
Hmm.
talking about how Kanye, he he is triggering people that have had dealt with abusers, narcissistic relationship partners, like, and it's very triggering to see like the levels that he's going to and the things that he's doing to try to control Kim or like just moving next door, like just this overwhelming sense of
Right.
preying on her. You know what I mean? Now that she's not with him, and it's like, I kind of felt like, yeah, like why are you being like that? Like let her go. You know what I mean? You're with another woman and you're sending her Valentine Day roses. Like
Right.
how like disrespectful are you? Like it's just like at the end of the day, like who do who do you think you are that you're supposed to have her and have this other woman and it just like it doesn't make sense to me now like the levels that he's going to keep her attention and get her attention and it's like but you're wanting this other woman like why are you doing
Right.
that? You know what I mean like it's very it can be very bothering, I think, to people that have witnessed people that are like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably why I was more taken back. Like, he's crazy. Like, no, like you're
Yeah.
not supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, that's not okay. Like, and you should let her live her life now. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gave you how many years? Like, to figure it
Right.
out, get it together. And it's like now that she's really finally closed the door and started to date, you're like you're like preying on that. You're like doing things like that are just childish. And I'm like, I mean, I get it. You love her, but it's a certain level of love that you just it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, no, you had your chance. Now move on. Like you've moved on, so keep moving.
Right.
Like,
Like
I don't know. Like,
he's giving some people OJ vibes. Like, chill out.
right.
Like, real
This is what I
talk.
mean.
I
Like,
mean,
this
what's
might be on the
next?
next 48. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I'm like sitting there
right.
going, what level are you willing to go to now? Like, in regards to
You
getting her
know?
attention or getting a media's attention. The one thing that I realized is that Kanye is not a stupid person in regards to how he controls the media, and how he controls what is put in the media about him. You know what I mean? Like he is. I think he's ever since Taylor Swift, he's become good at manipulating the media to his defense. You see what I'm saying? Like where
Hmm.
he's like, it's like he's not doing things that he doesn't want the media to see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, no, you're acting out, you're doing all these things because you want that media attention. You want to create
Right.
this raw. And it's like, I mean, come on now. Like we have to at some point decide like what's real and what's premeditated. You know what I'm saying? For the
Yeah.
cameras. And I think that a lot of that happens now with the social world and social media and just a lot of premeditated, isolated situations that we don't really know the behind scenes of it. We only know what they want us to see in the media. So that for me was like realizing, he's not stupid when it comes to what's out there about him. He knows that it's going to create attention. He knows that it's going to create controversies, and he's all for it. It's like, but again, when you put yourself in that spotlight, you give the world kind of access to you. So it's like,
Hmm.
I mean, there's some artists that I think that stay under the radar that are very successful. That you know what I mean, like why are you not trying to be that person? Why are you putting, everything in regards to your business and how you're dealing with your children out there unless you want that attention and criticism,
Right.
you know? So what else do you guys think in regards to I watched also Fire Festival. You guys watch that?
Oh, was that with Ja Rule?
Yes.
Oh
Oh no,
yeah,
I
Like
I
it's
didn't
saw
been
see
that
it.
like
trending.
maybe like a year or two ago. That was crazy.
And it's like it's been trending April. Now imagine because we're music heads like that. Like when I seen that tour and I seen all those artists were gonna be there, I was like, there's no way they're gonna be able to do that. Like I just knew from the promotion of it, from looking because look, the advertisement that I seen that they were promoting on the documentary and the advertisement that I seen was actually directly related or given to the urban community. You know what I mean? It made it look very interesting. It made it look like all the
Right.
hip hop artists that you wanted to see, the Migos, Little Yachty, everybody was going to be on this island. And it was like Fat Joe, like they had all these artists on this list. And I'm like, how are they going to be able to pull this off? How is this going to work with
Right.
all these artists on the island? And, so for me, I just kind of thought it was a scam from the beginning, but I didn't really, then when I started going in and looking at the actual packages and how much they cost, like, and I'm sitting there like, who are they appealing to? But rich people. You know what I mean? Like, so is it like,
Yeah.
is it something that's for the everyday person? No, it's for people who want to go out and spend thousands on this island to see people and be around celebrities. And it's like, okay, but I can go to Miami and do that.
Right.
What's the difference?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? I can go to Cali and do that. Like, and that for me was the reason why I think I just didn't really buy into it. But then looking at how many people did and how much money they sold and how much
Oh
money
my
they
God.
wasted,
Yeah. They made mad
it was
money
just,
off those people. They didn't even
oh
have
my,
places. They didn't even have legit rooms and hotels to stay in. It was just
did
crazy.
you see the cabanas? And I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
imagine getting there. And I'm laughing at the people when they're pulling up in these buses and they see like, this is where we're gonna be staying. These are kids who come from generational
Right.
wealth, and like you're putting them in a tent. And then they said they were FEMA tents. Like they got them from like a hurricane disaster. Like, so I'm sitting there like,
Oh
y'all
my
went and pulled
gosh.
this
Don't say
off.
FEMA tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said they were the leftovers from FEMA from New Orleans. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, how is this possible that they were able to pull this off? Like, this is
Right.
crazy that they even did something like this. Um,
Mm-mm.
and that for me was like where I knew I was like, yeah, no, this is definitely. And the dude, he was so confident that he went through with it. Like they kept saying, you can pull out if you want to pull
Oh
out. He was
yeah,
like,
no.
and he, nope, you never pull out. Look,
Nope.
I'm in the store, I'm on my podcast, guys. I'm sorry. He said, I told you this is gonna be a funny, eventful show because I got my customers coming in and then talking
Oh my
while I'm on
gosh,
the
that's funny.
podcast. So yeah, like seeing that dude do that for me was like, but there's a lot of janky promoters like that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who
Right.
create these events and give these people all these expectations, and then when they started selling the VIP bands for another $3,000, and I'm like, yo, how much money were y'all taking from people? Like, and then
Mm-hmm.
how did these people recoup their money back? Like, this is the things that you have to worry about. It's like people are just ripping people off. Oh, I can just put this, false advertisement. And like they said, it was really false advertisement. And then they started suing the influencers. They started suing
Wow.
the influencers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now you say to yourself, wow, like it sucks because you got to be careful about being an influencer.
Right.
Right.
You know?
No, because a lot of those people that did go were influencers and they nicely got played.
Oh, so that's $2. Yeah, you good. Okay, give it to me. Just don't. Yeah. So I got my brother over here helping me because I'm trying to do the show and do this at the same time. So you guys have to excuse me because I'm, multitasking. You know how we are up north. We do 5 different hustles at one time. so, so yeah, that was crazy. Like I didn't watch it when it first came out, and I was kind of like, and then the fact that Ja Rule got out of it. Like I'm like, how did Ja Rule get out of it when he was the main person as the spokesperson for it? Like,
I know.
like it just lets you know, like in regards to contracts and being, smart about what you associate yourself with. And that guy, he had actually made his fortune off of doing like this black elite credit card. It was like a black card. Him and a
Oh,
couple
that's
other guys.
right.
That's what they actually started off at doing, and they made $2 million. Because they were giving this exclusive credit card to people and with all these perks and benefits. And I think about it now, like that's what gets people to buy in is the perks and benefits to a lot of things. So it was
Hmm.
smart of them, but I just think that they went about it the wrong way in regards to, the long term effect of it and how people dealt with it. Um, so that was kind of funny to see that because I was like, wow, you just never know where people got their start from. And he was so, they said he was such a good salesperson that he could sell anybody anything, and I'm like sitting there going, those are the people that you got to be careful of,
Right.
so this is where I'm kind of like, it just is so crazy to me to even think this is what people do, in regards to getting people to, sign up for programs and there's a lot of that on the media now. Like it's like everybody is selling something. You know what I'm saying? How good is the service? You don't know. You don't know until you try it out or you take that chance. You know what I mean? Like it's like you never know. Anybody can advertise and say, "Oh, we're doing this and we're doing that." But like, if people don't take legal action, then these people are never held accountable. And I think he's lost so much money. I think I was up at 250 million is what like he had got from investors and he had did in regards to taking people's money and giving them this false expectation that they would make all this money back. And it's like, and now he's in jail. I heard, but I'm like,
Oh,
is he
is he
really
in
in jail?
jail? Oh, shoot.
Right. Because he said that he wasn't going to jail. And I'm like, because they were saying they didn't even know where he was coming up with the money. And this was the other like strange thing about it is that he he would show up with cash and he would pay these people, like the digital companies and things like that, in cash. You're not supposed to do that when you're doing legitimate business. You don't pay with cash. You know what I'm saying? So this is where they were like, how do you just come up with $3 million in cash? Like, where were you getting this money from? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's able to just go pull $3 million out in cash. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think there was definitely some other things going on behind the scenes with this guy that maybe the documentary just never uncovered or talked about. But that was something that, for me, it was important to see, because when I seen this event, like the first time, it was like, I feel like it was targeted towards the urban community. You know what I mean? Like the way the flyer was set up, it wasn't the same as the flyers that you see, like that are on the webpage. It made it look like this is the hip hop place to be. You know what I mean? And it's like, if I would have, I might have bought into it, but I just felt like there's no way you're getting all that talent on one place with not $1 billion. You have to you have to have $1 billion to bring those type of artists. Drake, I mean, they had everybody on the bill, and it's to the point where it's just like, yeah, how are you getting all these people all in one place? You're not the Grammys.
Right.
Even the Grammys they don't show up for. So, that for me was like, yeah, no, I don't know about that. What else have I seen trending? Have you guys seen anything else that you can think of?
I don't think so.
I know that they're doing, which I know all of us would, be happy about. They're doing the 30th anniversary for Martin, a BET special.
Oh yeah,
Ah!
Martin.
Yo, tell me that we did not go home every week to watch Martin. Like,
I
remember
still
we used
watch
to be
it.
playing outside and like Martin's coming on, gotta go home. Like, that was the
I
thing
still
in
watch
our
it,
era.
and
It
it's
was
still
like that
funny.
was. I know
It is
it's still
still
cracking
funny.
me up. I still
Every
say some of the
episode you're
lines.
gonna laugh.
Like, damn, Gina. Like, we still say that. We still call each other Gina. What else do we still use from Martin? I'm trying to think. Like,
BDBs.
yes. Like,
BDBs.
who was the girl? Shanika?
Shanae.
Shanae. Everybody knows a Shanae.
Okay. Some people actually look like that girl too.
Right.
I met some people that actually look like Shanae.
Yo, Shanae was the character. I love Martin because he just was able to.
Real talk, before there was Medea, there was Martin. Martin's been playing those roles,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, you know where Martin got that from? My guy, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy did it first. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy was our first of our generation with Coming to America. He played how many characters in that movie? Like, and when you played the white man, I'm like, that's Eddie Murphy.
But has Eddie ever played a female? That's what I mean. He was the first.
Remember that lady that he played?
Oh, okay.
What was the new movie that he played?
What?
He played the lady.
Shit. What, the Clump? The Clump?
What is it?
Was it the Clump?
Norbert.
Oh, how you doing?
Norbert. Okay.
Norbert.
All right. Yeah.
He did play the female. Like, that for me was like.
And then he was in The Nutty Professor. Yeah.
And he played multiple characters.
Sherman.
Yo.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
And Martin always talks about that, like how he got a lot of his influence from Eddie. And also how, just like, and I think that, and also you look at Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was one of those people that influenced the 70s generation. And that's where they come from. So it's like having, those influential people to kind of give you the platform and say, okay, yeah, let's do this with a little different twist. And now, like, we have Medea. Now we have, but we also had Robin Williams with Mrs. Doubtfire. That's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. Still to this day, I can watch it and laugh. So kudos to them. I'm looking forward to seeing the Martin the show, the exclusive show that they're doing on BET. Shout out to them for that because there was a lot of controversy going on with the cast, him and Gina, for years.
Oh
And
yeah.
Right.
I used to look at them and I used to wonder, like, are they sleeping together? Like, are they together? Because their chemistry was just so real.
So
And it
good,
was
right?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it made you really think that they were together outside of working together. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's, I think but the fact that they're working together again and she's no longer with the Wayne Martin, I think that played a big factor in why, things went left with them. And I don't know. Like I'm looking forward to see how they interact on the show and see how they handle themselves. So looking forward to that.
You know what you guys should check out?
What?
There's a Bill Cosby documentary on Showtime,
Uh
and it's
huh.
about people like, yo, that is real eye opener because like you go into it thinking like, nah, Bill didn't do it. I walked away like, yeah, I can honestly say like I believe Beverly Johnson's story. Like Bill Cosby, unfortunately, America's favorite dad, he had some shit with him. And then me and my man have been watching the Hugh Hefner series,
Uh huh.
and he had like these men are just off the hook.
Oh,
Like
I watched the Harry Weinstein one, and I was like,
it's yeah, well, you got to watch the Bill Cosby one. You got to watch the Hugh Hefner one. We're on like episode 6 should be coming on this week. Like, and it's crazy because like Bill Cosby was at the Playboy Mansion. There's even a segment on Don Cornelius. Yes, Mr. Soul Train, peace, love, and hair grease, whatever you want to call it. Like, there was even a scandal with his ass, and I'm like mind blown. Like these men, the stuff, that they did to women is just crazy, crazy. So when you get a chance, like check those two out. Like
so you
it's
know what else too?
crazy.
So you know what bro just told me about, and this is another one I wanted to bring up: Bel Air. The one
Oh,
about
love it.
about Will Smith,
Love it.
about Fresh Prince.
Love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
Binge watched
I
You
it.
gotta
haven't
watch it.
watched it.
Absolutely
April
love
put me
it.
on and I got addicted. You have to see
Really?
it.
Yes.
It's really good.
Is it on
It's
It's
Netflix?
really
it's
good.
it's on
Peacock.
Peacock.
It's on Peacock. Okay. All right.
And
So Bel Air.
it's a
It's
more
worth it.
it's more of a drama. Like it
Okay.
touches on like why he really came to Bel Air to stay with his aunt and uncle. Like it's just so raw and real. And even Hillary, there's a new spin on her. She's not like your ditzy like
Right. She's
airhead.
bougie as all hell,
She's
but she's not ditzy.
Now,
right, but she's woke. Like
what is the context to this? Is it like a reboot or is it like
I
uh
feel like it's for my son's generation because I put my son onto it and he like is hooked. Like it's like the new
really?
Bel Air for this generation. I feel, but honestly, I appreciate the old version with Will, and I love this version. You know what I'm saying? I like them both.
Right.
But the one with Will Smith was more of like a comedy laugh. I mean, it did
More
touch on
family.
serious things.
Put it like this. Uncle Phil
Right.
is not big on Bel Air. Uncle Phil
No?
is fit. Okay.
Uncle
Yeah,
Phil is
he's
Really?
fit.
fine. And hold up,
And Jeffrey,
Jeffrey ain't the
Jeffrey,
butler, honey. That
he ain't
mofo is
old.
he is
He's
fine,
chocolate.
honey.
He's fine?
He is
No
fine with
way.
his little Jamaican accent. Yes,
No
Lord.
stop. Oh, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
check this out. I've been hearing about
No,
it and
it's
I was like,
really
oh, I gotta
good.
check it out. Hey Jig, what's up, y'all? I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share our posts. Make sure you keep us in the loop. And I just want to thank our audience. I want to thank the people that are out there watching us right now and tuning in. And we're waiting for the artist to come in. I'm actually reaching out to him on my phone so that we can get him on. I told him to be here for 12 o'clock. If he's not here in the next 15 minutes, we're gonna cut it short today. Because I know we have things to do today for our for our Sundays, getting ready for this week coming up. Um, But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So now I have to go look and watch that as well.
Yeah, you
You
won't be
know,
disappointed.
you know a show that I got to check out recently? It's on Tubi and it's called Our Kind of People.
Oh, I
Did you
love
see that?
Tubi, girl.
Oh, you
No,
gotta
but I
watch
love
this.
Tubi.
Our Kind
Okay.
of People, okay? It has Morris Chestnut in it. It has an all-star cast in it. And Morris Chestnut, oh
Oh,
my
okay.
God. But the funny thing about it is guess where it takes place? In Oaks
Where?
Bluff,
Oh,
in the
wow.
Cape. And it's about the
Yeah.
elite black people in Oaks Bluff and how these people come from wealth. And it's funny because my grandmother told me that we had an aunt who lived on Oaks Bluff, and for during the summers, that was the only place that black people could go swim.
Mm-hmm.
In her day was in that area. It was a black only beach. So this was like something that I felt near and dear to because I was like, my grandmother kind of told me about this, and now seeing this show and how it's talking about all the slavery, it talks about everything, but the woman who the main character is, she goes to Oak Bluff from Boston. She's from Boston. Her and her daughter,
Okay.
and she has a hair care line, and she's trying to promote her hair care line to these rich black people, and they're kind of having no regard for her because she's not a part of the elite. Her mom used to go there during the summers and she would vacation there and things like that. And her mom ended up owning property there. So that's how she was able to go back and kind of, rebuild there what her mom tried to start back in the 60s or the 70s. So it was like I'm on episode 5, and I think there's only 9 episodes. So I'm looking forward to see how this plays out. The guy from my guy, the father from what's my show? Y'all know my show with what's her name? Olivia Pope, Scandal, the father. He
Oh,
plays the
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he plays the father as well. So it's very good. I love it, and I think you guys will enjoy it
I'm
too.
gonna
It's
have to
definitely
check that
something,
out. Yeah,
and
definitely.
it's highlighting black women's hair, like, and how important our hair is. It's a part of our identity. And it's talking about like just being natural, and our hair is our crown. You know what I'm saying? This is who identifies who we are. We don't like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot that goes into hair that we don't even realize. Like, I'm all about the hair. Like, if my hair is not done, I'm not going. You know what I mean? If my hair is not right, I don't feel right. So, and I think that's important for us to, acknowledge as women that that's important to us. That's our feel good. And
Right.
one of the things that my grandmother used to always say: get your hair done, you feel like a new woman, and you do.
Amen.
So,
No, you
amen.
do.
Y'all know what I'm excited about?
But
What?
Harlem got picked up for another season,
yeah,
and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, that show is off the hook. Stop
Right.
playing.
or is it
It ended
what?
really good. I binge watched that in like 2 days.
Me too.
Yes,
I
me
was
too. I
hooked.
watched it, Ben watched it too, and I was like, wait, there's no more. Like, what are you talking
They
about?
got
Like,
picked up for some more seasons. I read that the other day.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I'm happy about that.
Cause I love me some
right?
Megan Good,
Yes.
and I
Like that?
loved
Oh
all the
yes.
other supporting actresses too. Like
Right.
all of them were. I love them all.
They always good. The little gay chick, I like her too.
Yeah, she
Oh
was
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, when she had that, when she went to the hospital and she had, what was it? Was it fibroids or? And I'm like sitting there
Yeah,
going, that is very challenging to even think about, like being in her, element. And it's like now you have to think about you do want to have kids or you don't want to have kids. Like,
right.
that was something that I was just like, oh God, where's this going? Like, and this is probably a lot of the things that, black, like that gay women have to think about. Like, like, do I
Right.
want to have a hysterectomy? Do I want to, and it's like, do you plan on having kids even as, a woman who likes women? Like, and I see it more now than ever. You know what I mean? That look at the brat. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and you see, Lisa Ray said that she found out on social media that her sister was having a baby.
I know. I
So
felt
I was
bad for
like,
her.
I'm sitting there like, what? Like, that's crazy that, you have to find out that way. What happened? What's
Yeah.
wrong? Hold on, you guys. I'm just trying to fix this. Hold on, one second.
Snowfall. You watch Snowfall, Ebony?
Yeah, it starts back up next week, right?
Yep, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I am ready. I can't wait. And I've been watching the Tommy. You've been watching Tommy?
Yeah.
I love me some Tommy though. I always have.
I do too, but I feel like they started him off real. The first few episodes was good, but I felt like this one was a little boring.
Okay. Wait,
Did you
did you watch the new one that? No, you
watch?
already
Yeah.
know. I didn't watch. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll
wait,
watch it
Snowfall's
today
back.
though.
Next week.
Snowfall comes back next week, baby.
I love me some Franklin, girl. Oh,
Girl, I loved Franklin, but he pissed me off last season.
yeah. Last season he was a little different. He was definitely.
Yeah.
I think he's coming into himself though. He's coming into that boss status where he's not questioning himself and questioning his like he even surpassed his
Okay, I
uncle,
gotta
you know?
mute y'all for a second because I can't hear.
Okay.
You know, like he even surpassed his uncle in so many elements, like where it's like now I'm the boss.
Right.
Like, yeah, big uncle, yeah, I came to you for advice when I first started this, but now this is my show. This is
Exactly.
me, you know? And he's not second guessing his moves. You know what I mean? Like even when homeboy wanted to get out and he was like, nah, you're in this. Like and I was like, you're not trying to let homeboy leave. He's trying to leave. He done killed the little girl. Like he don't want to do this no more. Like and Franklin was like, and I was like,
I felt so bad for Leon.
I didn't see that coming at all. I was kind of like, whoa. Oh.
Atlanta starts back up too. If y'all watch Atlanta, that starts back up, I think, in March. Oh, I love Atlanta with Childish Gambino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's good. I love that show.
I never seen that, but you know what I got into? I can't think of the name right now, but it's that real estate show with this chick who
is it the
by Ocho Cinco or whatever the hell his name is?
Oh, is it the one with all the black women that do real estate?
Yeah.
I know I haven't seen that yet. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, I gotta watch that. I did see that.
What is it called?
I want to say Sisters in Real Estate. It's something.
I can't remember what the name was, but
it's on Netflix.
It was a group of black women doing real estate in Miami, Tampa. It was Tampa something. With the chick who just had a baby by Ocho.
Oh
Cinco.
yeah, I've seen that selling Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of dope though. I was inspired by that.
Good.
To see an all black female real estate firm. Like, I'm like, yo, they bossed up on that. Like, that's what we need to be doing. That's always something that I was influenced by was real estate. So like for me to see them selling big houses, black women, independent, successful, like that is so inspiring to me. And I'm glad I was able to watch it. And then I didn't realize that she was dating Chad. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her yet. Like, I kind of feel like she's very controlling in a lot of ways. Like when homegirl wanted to go off and do her own thing. And she was like, oh, but you didn't talk to me about it. And I'm like, yo, like, you should encourage that. You should encourage growth.
But I think she would have encouraged that had they had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You would feel a way, I think, if this person had no interest in real estate and you get them into it and they're doing their thing, common courtesy, you want to open your firm in the same town and y'all are cool. Why not have a conversation?
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was trying to recruit.
Right.
That was dirty. I was like, no, that's dirty. That's dirty. We don't play those games. Like, that's not something that, you know, I would respect. Like, you don't come into my business and then try to take the people that work for me to your business. Like,
oh yeah,
how dirty are you getting? Like, you know, and as black women, we got to stick together. We got to be, you know, we got to have some type of integrity in our business and what we do and how we treat each other. So I think it's a, you know, it's definitely something, a question, you know, like, or a conversation to be had. Like, no, like we shouldn't be doing that to each other. We shouldn't be ripping each other apart and tearing each other down and fighting for, you know, that spotlight. It's like it's enough money out here for all of us to eat and for us all to get it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
don't be greedy.
Right.
I just seen a headline with in Miami, that helicopter that crashed into the Miami beach, and I'm like, 2 people were
Oh,
injured.
damn.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I'm sitting there going, what is going on? Like, what happened? Like, and they have those helicopter rides in Miami, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I never did that. Like, I'm not sitting there going, yeah, no, I don't think it was a good thing to even do that. So that's been under investigation. I also been watching a documentary on the Boeing, those planes that went down, and they went nose down, and they were trying to figure out, was it like terrorist attacks? Like, how did these Boeings, crash and kill all these people? And Boeing has covered it up for so many years. And there's people that still haven't reaped, the benefits or gotten any, reconciliation from this crash that killed hundreds of people. So this is something that, I think that we don't even think about, as travelers, as flyers. Like, what if that happens to you? What if
Right.
that happens to your family member? You know what I mean? Like, who's going to fight for you? You know what I mean? And I think, like, the fact that some of these people have family that are, putting in class action suits and doing the things that, is necessary to make sure that there's justice and that there's, some type of answers, because they're still not giving answers to why it happened. And when you talk about the money that is put into these planes, it's like, how are you not securing the planes? How are you not making sure that, my safety is guaranteed? Like,
Right.
it's kind of hard, like
So it
that
was
was
a
a hard
plane
one.
or it was a helicopter or a plane?
The one in Miami was a helicopter, and 2 people were in it.
Wow.
Um,
Crazy.
so I just seen a headline. Disney is planning to build its very own city in California, where residents will be
Oh,
active
damn.
participants in stories.
The
Disney.
hell?
Disney is different. Like, this is like a
Okay.
whole different era. Like, I'm like, what? You can build a whole city and you're gonna make people in the city active roles? Okay, I'm moving to California so I can move to this little town. like, what is this
Yeah,
about?
like the
I want
hell?
to see how that comes about. Um, I don't know if you guys know who YNW Melly is, but he's the artist that was on trial
Mm-hmm.
for that murder. And they say they have 66 pages of DNA evidence against him. His phone was located near the shooting. The bullets came from his place in the car. Footage shows he sat in the killer's seat. Um, and I'm just like, dude, like, did you want to get caught? Like, was this something that you would just like, I don't know. At this point, I think that you're a rapper. You shouldn't be in drive-bys. You shouldn't be doing this type of activity at all. But I also think that their culture, in this younger generation's culture, you have to be a shooter in order to be respected. Um, and whether or
Right.
not you're a rapper or not, and it's just like, like, how do we change this culture? How do we change the fact that, a lot of our young men are dying before they even have the chance to really be a superstar or a celebrity? And I think we've lost a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
in the last 4 years. Pop Smoke, um, King Vaughn, all these rappers that are like very influential to the culture and to to the generation, and they're dying young because they're living out these fantasies that they're these gangbangers and they're in these gangs and they're utilizing this activity to promote their careers, and it just sucks because it's a dangerous game that you're playing with that.
Yeah.
So I just um this kid yet music is hard. He has the #1 rap album on Apple Music. Fans are debating on if he's actually good or trash. Yeah, I have never heard of him before, so that's funny because never heard of him. Um, Freddie Gibbs, he made a comment and he says his prediction on rap in the next 5 years is that it will be no rap. And I mean,
Oh, wow.
And it's like, you know what? In a way, I kind of feel that. I think that rap is very, it's evolving. I think it's becoming more of a pulp culture. It's becoming more of a gimmick. And it's hard to differentiate what a pop artist is and what a, commercial artist is. It's like, yeah, it's the lines are being blurred and you have to be everything now. So yeah, I kind of do feel that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I don't know what else has been going on that you guys want to talk about. Is there anything that you guys want to see this year in regards to artists performing, or what shows you want to go to this year?
Um, I don't know.
I
Let
love
me
a Drake
think.
show, so I'm all about the Drakes. I'm all about
Yeah.
seeing great entertainment this year. We have a lot of artists that we have coming on the show in March that are going to be performing come summer. We have, Mixtape Monopoly. They're going to be at South by Southwest this year, and I believe it's going to be in Dallas this year. So that should be a big event. We also have Really Bad People coming in March. Next week we have Big Shot coming. He's going to be doing a couple of shows out in New York in the next couple of weeks. So look out for those because we'll definitely be pushing those and talking about those in the next upcoming weeks. Um, the artist that we had for today, Goonie Goo, he is not tapped in yet. And we are 51 minutes into the show. So I don't want to take up any more of you ladies' time because I know we all have busy schedules. We're all doing things, even though it's Sunday. It doesn't matter. But we can
Uh-huh.
also share our Black history. Do you guys have any Black history facts today?
Shit. I forgot about that. I was so busy being man down. Hold on. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all.
I like, hold
Oh
on, yeah.
God, let me.
I like, no, I got one. I
Okay.
got one. I got one for y'all. Y'all already know I got one. So these, it's this guy, this kid, right? His name is David Cabello. David
Mhm.
Cabello, and this is a new one, okay? Because he is only 25 years old. Um, I'm looking for it. I highlighted it because it's in my phone. Um, but this kid, he started the first black like Uber Eats. He only delivers to for black owned businesses, and he's the
Oh
first person to
wow.
ever do it. So they're calling him. He's not Oprah, but he's definitely on his way to being very famous in regards to building this app that's called. Let me just go through it. Hold on. And I was like, oh, that is really cool. And it's him and his friend. They were college dropouts. So this is also, that generation of the dropouts and, Kanye's influence on that. I think, college dropout influenced a lot of people in a lot of ways in regards to people who, felt like they had to get an education in order to be successful. I think that this new
Mhm.
generation knows that they don't have to go to college. Hi. They don't have to go to college to be successful. You know what I mean? So this is where
Right.
I feel like the influence comes from. It's from Kanye. He inspired a lot of people with that. So his name is David Cabello, and after dropping out of college 2 years ago, he founded Black and Mobile. That's the name of the company, the first Black-owned food delivery service for Black-owned businesses. So shout out to
That's what's
David
up.
Cabello for that because I think that's important to have our own and to have ownership and stake in what we do for us, by us. So shout out to him for that. And April, do you have anything
I
else? I think
have one. I do.
okay.
Um, okay, so Rebecca Lee Crumpler was the first Black woman to become a doctor of medicine in the United States. After moving to Charlestown, Massachusetts in 1852, Rebecca Crumpler worked as a nurse for 8 years. At that time, the lack of official schools of nursing meant she required no formal training for the job, but she certainly wasn't afraid of some hard work. She was admitted into the New England Female Medical College in 1860 and graduated 4 years later with her MD. After the end of the Civil War in 1865, Dr. Crumpler moved to Richmond, Virginia to provide medical care for the freed slaves who would otherwise have no one else to turn to. She dedicated herself to the understanding of diseases that particularly affected women and children. And when she eventually returned to Massachusetts, she opened her own clinic in Boston. She saw poverty-stricken patients and treated them regardless of their ability to pay her. So big ups to Dr. Crumpler.
Dr. Crumpler, shout out to her. I think I read about her in one of the books that my grandmother gave me when I was a kid. There was a book that she gave me, and it was all about Black women in our history. And I forget the name of the book.
Oh, I remember that book.
Remember that book?
Mm-hmm.
And my great grandmother, like, they all passed this book along, and it was just, you know, for us to kind of know where we come from. And I remember that name. So that is something I didn't know, that she lived in Massachusetts, though. So yeah, that's dope. I know there's another woman, Ella Lewis, which has our last name, Ebony. She's actually responsible for a lot of the performing arts and putting, you know, Black people on platforms in Boston and Massachusetts. She comes from Roxbury.
See you later. Thank you.
That the Globe highlighted recently this year. This year, the Globe is doing a piece on influential Black people in Massachusetts. So it was good to see the Globe doing that, and I want to definitely acknowledge her because, you know, I'm all about the arts. So that was dope to see that with her. Definitely a name to remember, Ella Lewis, and just do some history on, you know, research on her. She was a very strong Black woman in our community that helped to bring and change and pave people's lives. And I think that's important as our, you know, as our culture evolves and it goes further. We are the next pioneers of that. We are the next examples of that. And, you know, I realize that's what I've always been about, is history and understanding where we come from, and, you know, just having this great outlook on, like, you know, I think it was yesterday morning I think it was yesterday morning I got up and I said, I don't want to do this no more. And I said, no, you're doing this for your ancestors. You're doing this for all the Black women that didn't get a chance to do this. You know what I'm saying? And had these great ideas and had, you know, these boundaries that they were given. Now we're in such a limitless, you know, time in life where our boundaries, there are none. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're Black, but we also have the ability to speak our mind. We have freedom of speech. We have so many great things that we've conquered, and we should take advantage of as, you know, our community grows. So I think that that's important for us to acknowledge that. F, do you have any? I see your picture now, doll.
Yeah.
Do you have a Black history fact?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I'm like, yeah, you.
Let me think on it.
All right. I mean, we got 1 more minute to go, and then we're cutting the show. It's been full hour today. We're not going into 2 hours. I think that we had great conversation today, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And hopefully we can get Goonie on the show at a later date. I'm sorry he couldn't tune in and chat with us today. But, you know, it's always a pleasure working with my girls and the people that I grew up with that know me best. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you. Signing off. We're going to leave with Goonie's music.
They say the business is what the business is. If you gon' talk money, then we gon' talk money cause we grown. We not running off with the plug either, nigga. Cause the plugs live by different codes.
They back all in my business. Wonder how much my trap worth. They don't understand how I'm winning. All they see is my trip work. They don't understand how I'm getting it. Cause they ain't never knew how to do it right. They ain't never been to a trap. They don't know nothing about the get right.
They come and get me. Until they come and get me. Straight out the trenches. Until they come and get me. Until they come and get me. Straight out the trenches, mama say that I would never win. Jumped off the porch and I ain't never been the same since. If I should die now, I guess it's worth all my sinning. They say they learned it from me, tell them I ain't never finished. Straight out the trenches, mama say that I would never win. Jumped off the porch and I ain't never been the same since. If I should die now, I guess it's worth all my sinning. They say they learned it from me, tell them I ain't never finished. I'm in the mud, trapped out here in the mountains, all this talking like they